Hello, everyone. Hey, thanks for being here on this Friday. Hey, thanks for tuning in to our lunch alert. It's going to be a blessing to you. Today, we're going to talk about the C's of leadership. Now, like I said yesterday, every Friday, I want to give you a leadership principle that you can apply to your life. Whether you're in business, whether you manage a home, no matter what you may manage, I want to give you something that you can apply to your life. Now, I believe that the greatest leader of all time is Jesus. He took 12 dudes and turned the world upside down, as the Bible would say. Actually, he turned it right side up. Okay? And it's a wonderful thing. Well, you have the privilege of being able to do the very same thing. Now, listen to these. I believe these will apply to your life in a major, major way. Let's talk about the C's of leadership. The first one, and I believe it's the first and foremost, on purpose. And I got these out of Bill Hybels. He teaches on these, and I think it's a great, great little teaching. Now, the number one C that you got to remember is character. You know, all of us are to be, especially believers, we're to become more and more Christ-like each and every day. The most valuable thing you can be is more Christ-like. I would even say this: churches are not measured or judged based upon numbers only. The truth of the matter is, if people are not becoming more Christ-like, then I would dare say the church isn't doing its job. But let me just say this. The truth of it is, your character matters. Character is the foundation of all leadership. In other words, are you honest? Do you have honesty? Are you teachable? Are you humble? Are you reliable? Do you have a healthy work habit? You know, do you have a healthy work ethic? Do you work hard? Those are the things that really, really matter. And you need to understand that that first C, character, is by far the most important. You know, I can take people that don't even know a lot and train them if they're teachable, right? I can take people that may not understand everything and maybe groom them for a position. But if they don't have character, in other words, if they lie, if they cheat, if they steal, if they're not humble, if they're not teachable, there's not much you can do with it. So the number one C is character. Number two, let's talk about it. Competence. Are they capable? But remember, character's first. Competence is always second. In other words, you could have those flipped around. Some people are very, very gifted, but their gifting will write checks that their character cannot pay for. That was good. You need to write that down. Their gifting will write checks that their character cannot pay for. Because the truth of the matter is, the most important thing is not competence. But let me just say this. You need competent people around you. These are people that have the ability to do something. They can get the job done. You know, I would much rather have people that have character, but then I want them to be competent. If I've asked them to be a small group leader, if I've asked them to lead a class, they ought to be able to lead a class. They ought to be able to teach somebody something. That's what we want, competence. But now this third one is powerful. It's chemistry. A lot of times we don't include this one in leadership, and I believe sometimes we do ourselves an injustice in that, because chemistry matters. In other words, do you like the people that are around you? You need to like folks to be good with them and effective with them. I'm fortunate to say that we have a lot of great people here at Abundant Life Church, and I am thrilled to say I have a lot of chemistry with a lot of folks. But let me say this. I've met some people that I just don't click with. There's just not a connection there. Let me say this. It's very, very difficult to lead people and to have them be a part of your leadership team if there's no chemistry there. It's just a dry, dead relationship. Okay? Now, the fourth one is very important. Commitment. Are they committed to the cause? Are they committed to the cause? They need to be committed. I believe those four things are critical. Now, let me tell you what they are again. Character, competent, chemistry, and commitment. Are they committed to the cause? Here at Abundant Life Church, we want to make fully devoted disciples. So if people come into our church and they want a leadership role, they need to be about making fully devoted disciples and be committed to the cause. The fifth one, which I exclude most of the time, is calling. A lot of people say they're called to do something, but yet they use that kind of loosely. I want to make sure that we use people, but, I did a lot of things before I fell into my calling. So I'm real careful about using the word calling. But when it comes to ministry and the gospel, you need to make sure you're called to do that thing that you're doing. Now, let me say this. I've never met anybody that was called to the nursery. Never have I met anyone called to the nursery. But it's a task that needs to be done. And we need people of character, people that are competent, people that have chemistry, and people that are committed to work in those places. So you have to understand, there are some places that have to be filled and worked in. And someone may not feel called to it, but you need to get it done, all right? But make sure you're called. If you're in a place where you're not called, you're going to be miserable along the way. So there's this balance there with the calling, and that's why I use it last. And a lot of times I don't even use it in this teaching, but I thought I'd throw it out there, specifically ministering to church leaders, okay? Well, hey, God bless you. Have a great weekend. You're halfway through your Friday. God bless you. I love you. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned next week for our lunch alerts.